Again, Andronicus and his team are confronted by unique and puzzling features. Suddenly, the charcoal is interrupted by this area of rubble fill, which extends into the neighbouring chamber tomb. They had found a tunnel used to gain access to the shaft grave by those who had already robbed the chamber tomb. In dragging their booty back through the tunnel, the robbers seemed not to care that they'd dropped articles like this bronze figurine. If this was not worth taking, what else might the tomb have contained?
All this makes us to think that it was a very rich and very important tomb. And I must remark that it's something, it brings to my mind an idea that all the tombs we found until now in this area are female tombs, are burials of ladies, very rich ladies, and of different dates. It's rather unusual.
Andronicus now knows that this female cemetery continued in use and became grander and grander. And most important, the dig has finally connected the early growth of Macedonia with its golden age, because there is one more female tomb hidden under this tin roof that reveals a direct link to King Philip. This is the first time cameras have been allowed inside. Another monumental tomb like Philip's, but even larger. The door to the main chamber tantalizingly ajar. When the tomb was first discovered in 1987, Andronicus found that several huge blocks had been removed by robbers trying to enter the tomb from the side. He also found a human skeleton, and a second body was lying in the antechamber. Both, it seems, were murdered by companions intent on taking all the treasures inside for themselves. After a lifetime of searching for unrobbed tombs, Andronicus had come across some of the culprits who had deprived him for so long. The issue now was, had this falling out among thieves diverted them from their purpose? Could anything remain intact inside the tomb?
In this tomb we have three absolutely unique characteristics. First is the marvelous throne. It's unique, absolutely unique, with this painting, which is again the only one painting on a marble piece like this we have. All this sculpture decoration, all this relief gilded decoration is absolutely marvelous. Then we have the back wall of this chamber, which represents the facade of a tomb of a building. It's an Ionic building with the columns, the epistelion, and all the other elements of an Ionic art. But here we have the whole colors. It's the only one building of antiquity I know with all its colors. And we have this false door, these false windows, And we have something more. On the vault, we have iron hooks. I don't know the use of them. That the tomb belongs to a lady is almost sure. This tomb is the biggest and the earliest of all Macedonian tombs. The throne is something very exceptional. All the construction makes me believe that it's a royal tomb again. The only lady of the royal family which lived or died about 340 when we date the tomb with certainty, almost certainty, is Philip's mother, Eurydice. And we know from the place, I mean from Bergina, at least 2 inscriptions with the name of Eurydice. So I call it, under brackets of course, until now, Eurydice's tomb.
In the final years before Eurydice died, before her son King Philip had reached the height of his power, the philosopher Aristotle walked among the streets, temples and courtyards of the Macedonian capital at Aegea. And he would have been at home here, among a people who had developed independently over the centuries, but who participated as equals in the classical culture of all Greece. More than 2,000 years later, it is Manolis Andronicus who has revealed the true glories of Macedonian civilization. Andronicus is now in his 70s. It has already been a lifetime's work, patiently piecing together the evidence from the soil of Vergina. But ahead of him lie many more years of research, as the ancient city continues to yield up its secrets.
We found just 2 pieces of a new wall of sun-dry bricks, which probably is the corner of another tomb. It's nearby, but we have no time to excavate this tomb, so I decided to leave it for next year's excavation, so to have where to start next year. So the archaeology gives us the only source of information for the Macedonian history. And for the early history is very important because we can understand the standard of culture, of civilization of these Macedonians. And as you know, the Athenians sometimes called them barbarians. But now we find so exquisite objects, and we understand that can't be barbaric people.
The Macedonians were consummate artists, but also great warriors and empire builders. It was they, through the conquests of Alexander the Great, who spread classical Greek culture across the ancient world. A culture which lies at the heart of Western civilization.